These are the 7 people skills that every leader needs that nobody's teaching you. And here's something I watch play out constantly with founders and operators. They get promoted or they promote themselves because they're excellent at their work. They understand the business and they understand operations. They can outperform almost anyone on the technical side. And then they have to step into managing people, and it all falls apart. Not because they're incompetent, but because leading people takes a completely different set of skills than doing the work. The skills that got you the role won't keep you in it, and that gap is real. Most people don't see it coming until they're already in trouble. So today I'm walking you through the people skills you actually need as a leader, and not generic advice. Not communicate better, the specific stuff that matters when you're under pressure, managing a team and trying to build something real. So let's get into it. Skill number 1, actually listening. A lot of leaders think that they're good listeners. They're not. They're waiting to respond. Real listening means you let people finish. You don't cut them off mid-thought. You don't jump to solutions while they're still explaining the problem. You let it land. Then you respond. And before you respond, you confirm you actually understood. Something as simple as, so what you're telling me is the timeline isn't realistic for the scope we're asking for. Now they get a chance to correct you or tell you that you've got it. Now here's why that matters operationally. When a team member brings you a problem or raises a concern and they don't feel heard, they stop bringing things to you. That's how you end up with blind spots, and that's how small issues compound quietly until they're full-blown crises. That patience alone will set you apart from most leaders. Skill number 2, assertive communication. This is the one technically strong leaders struggle with the most. When you come up as the operator, the person who figures everything out, there's a tendency to soften your direction, to over-explain, to hedge, to make requests sound like suggestions. That's not leadership, that's ambiguity in disguise. Assertive communication means saying clearly and directly what you need, what you expect, and where the boundaries are. Not aggressively and not harshly, just clearly. I need this delivered Thursday. Not, it'd be great if we could maybe wrap this up by the end of the week. That's outside of what I can agree to right now. Not, let me think about it, when you already know the answer is no. Here's what happens when you start communicating this way, especially if you've been passive before. People start to push back. They test the boundary. They're used to negotiating you down. The skill isn't just being clear the first time, it's holding the line when someone tries to soften it. That's assertiveness under pressure. And that's what builds real credibility with your team. Skill number 3, managing different performance levels. Simple in concept, but hard in execution. If you're running a real team, you've got people at different levels. High performers who need direction and then space. And people still developing who need more structure, more check-ins, and more guidance. The mistake founders make is treating the whole team the exact same. They either micromanage everyone, which suffocates your best people, or they hand everyone total autonomy, which leaves your developing people spinning without the support that they need. You have to calibrate to the individual. For someone still building their skills, you need to be present. Give them a clear framework, check in, give feedback early, before the mistake becomes a pattern. That investment up front saves you enormous pain later on. For a high performer though, back off. Give them the objective, give them the resources, and get the fuck out of the way. Your job with them is to remove friction, not supervise. And then there's a second layer, motivation. Someone newer but hungry will outperform someone experienced who's checked out. You have to read both dimensions, skill and drive, and then adjust. Skill 4, creating space for ideas. And here's what founders miss when they're running meetings. They think their job is to have all of the answers. It's not. Your job is to build a team that surfaces better answers than you'd come up with alone. That only happens if people actually speak up. And usually they won't unless you build the conditions for it. Start by saying it out loud. Tell your team you want their thinking, not once, but regularly. Make it a norm, not an event. When someone shares an idea, show them you heard it. Don't shoot it down on instinct, even if you're skeptical. Reject ideas too fast a few times and the room goes quiet for good. And thank people for contributing. It's not soft, it's smart. It reinforces the behavior you want more of. What you're building here is an environment where people bring you the real stuff, the real problems, the real ideas, instead of managing up and telling you what they think you want to hear. In a high-pressure business, that's not a nice to have, it's an edge. Skill 5, matching works to strengths. This is about motivation, but not the way most people think about it. When someone's doing work they're genuinely good at, not just competent at, actually good at, there's usually a reason. They've put in the time because they enjoy it. And because they enjoy it, they push to get better at it, and it compounds. Your job is to spot those strengths and route work accordingly. That doesn't mean everyone only does what they like. This is business, and businesses don't run that way. But where you have flexibility, where a project could go one of two different ways, send it to the one with the natural pull towards it. They'll do it faster, with more care and with less of your oversight. And if you want to actually map this, there's 2 tools. Use Clifton Strengths, it's a more comprehensive one, it's paid, and I've got no affiliation. Or use the High 5 test. It's a free alternative and it's a great option. Either gives you and your team a shared language for this conversation. There's the 5 core 5. Here's 2 bonus skills because they matter just as much. Skill 6, navigating team conflict. Competition inside of a team is normal. Some of it's totally healthy. Left alone though, it turns into something else. Put people with different personalities, different ambitions, and different working styles under pressure, and conflict will inevitably happen. The question was never whether it will, it's what you do when it does. A lot of leaders wait too long. They hope it will resolve itself, but it never does. It calcifies. People start working around each other. Information stops flowing. And in the worst case, your best people walk because the environment gets unbearable. The move is early, direct, and private. And when you see it, have individual conversations, not a group confrontation. Talk to each person separately. Listen for the root cause because the surface issue is rarely the real one. Then work together on what a path forward would look like. Follow up. Don't have the conversation and assume it's been handled. This is less dramatic than it sounds, but most team conflict comes from miscommunication or misaligned expectations. Things that get resolved when someone takes the time to address them directly. And that someone is you. Skill number 7, inner confidence. This one sits underneath everything else. You can develop every skill on this entire list and still fall apart without confidence as the foundation. And I don't mean that surface level confidence. I mean the kind that holds when things get genuinely hard. Now here's the pattern I've watched repeat more times than I can count. A founder or an operator gets the role. They feel really good. Things are going well. Then they hit something hard, a situation they've never faced, a decision with real stakes, a team dynamic they don't know how to read. And then they start questioning whether they're actually capable, whether they were right all along, whether they belong there at all. Some push through, some don't. The ones who don't either quit or become someone else's problem. And the sad part is the doubt that took them out wasn't even accurate. It was just untested confidence running into an unfamiliar challenge. Here's the reframe. When you hit something that shakes you, it's usually a sign you're in a learning moment. That's not failure, that's growth showing up as discomfort. The way through it isn't to ignore the feeling, it's to name what you need to learn, go learn it, and come back more prepared than you were before. The leaders I respect the most aren't the ones who never doubted themselves. No, they're the ones who doubted themselves and kept going anyway. So that's the 7. Actually listening, assertive communication, managing different performance levels, creating space for ideas, matching work to strengths, navigating conflict, and building the inner confidence to do all of it consistently, even when it's hard. Work on these, not all at once. Pick just one of them, get traction, and move to the next. If you think this was useful, hit subscribe. More of this will come regularly. I'll see you in the next video.